Hey guys, Metaloid here, and today I'm bringing you another high-level Halo Wars video. This time I'm going to be playing on Tundra, and I'm versing Amarante 99. Now, this game was actually played a few weeks back when I was streaming, and as such, the quality is a bit reduced. But, nonetheless, the game is still a decent game. Another note is that when I was playing this game initially, during the stream, I had live commentary on, and so when I do that, it isn't the best quality sound or anything in that measure. And what was happening is every time I was speaking, the voice, every time it started to speak, it was doing a pop, and it was just really not very good audio quality in the first place. Not that I really invest anything into increasing audio quality, but it was just to the point where like I was wearing headphones and it was just obnoxious. So what I ended up doing was muting the intrinsic audio from the initial recording, and then I inserted the game sound audio over top of that. And I tried lining it up the best I could. I think it's really close, but I think it's still slightly off. I don't know. I gave up on it. It's really close. You're probably not going to notice the difference, but heck, why not? May as well point it out, just in case you guys are curious or confused why some things might look a little bit off. But I think it's good, and I don't think you really should notice that. Okay, so this is an Anders versus Arbiter matchup, and it's definitely one of the more fun matchups, I guess. Not necessarily to play all the time, but every once in a while it is fun, because it really is just a different sort of matchup. It's very straightforward. There's no real magical builds that you do. It's just execution and positioning. I mean, I guess hog splitting, but I mean, as long as there's nothing truly difficult about it. It's just all about positioning. So I went for reaction third this game, and I'm going 5 hog. It looks this game. Whether you go 5 hog or 4 hog, really up to you. I want to go 5 hog because I'm versing Covey, and I really want to make sure I have as many hogs as I possibly can at every point in the game. And by going 5 hog, it gets me gunner a little bit later, but I'm not really trying to show up and deny anything, and and I'll still get that second pad upgraded a bit later. I mean, maybe I could have paid for the upgrade before I paid for gunner, but I was paying attention to what I was doing on the stream at the time as well. So instead of just showing right up to his base to go and attack his base, I didn't really feel there's any need to do that. He had went a temple second at the beginning of the game, and as such, I was able to use my hogs to gather a lot of supplies around the map and near his base initially. There's that one pile that I left behind his base, and the reason I did that was because if he wants to get that pile of supplies, he either has to send his ghost there, or he has to send his arbiter back there, and that means that he is not on the map if he's trying to get that pile of supplies. Now, there's a chance, obviously, that he could just go out and go grab the other piles first, but then I can steal that pile. So what I'm trying to do is I want to make sure that I always want to have 1 hog on his base at all times, and I want to clear the bases out because that makes the arbiter have to do something. If he wants to show up at my base, I'll have a hog at his base, so I can send an extra hog to his base if I need to help camp suicide grunts if he wants to do that. But when I sent my first hog over to his base, he was sitting behind his base because he was picking up that pile of supplies, it looked like. But that's good. I'm actually really happy about that. Like, I'm sure I'm not happy to lose the hog in the first place, but I like that he's at his base. It means he's not stopping me from clearing these bases. It means that he's not at my base. And so it gives me more time to get what I'm trying to go for. Now, the turrets are being really stupid on that top base, and that's annoying. That happens every once in a while, but heck, it's just part of the game, and not really the best start for me this game. I was, like I said, I was streaming at the time, so whenever I'm streaming, I'm always like sitting there looking at the chat and doing other stuff. But it's all good. So his arbiter is at his base, and I like that. I don't like that he already has a factory up, and I don't even have Citadel. It's not Citadel. I don't even have Fortress, because I thought I was going to be able to clear the bases a little bit faster than I actually did this game. And I cleared the base at the top side much faster than the bottom side because I went and I started clearing it a lot sooner. Because I initially had seen his ghost on the bottom side, and then the top side I failed with the hogs, and so it's not really a very good spot. I have 4 hogs right now, trying to pay for another hog, but really trying to just focus on now. I have to get Tech 2 on my single. I had to get Fortress. So we've gone for raids. So I'm trying to get Tech 2. Getting Tech 2 and I'm gonna go for Hornets this game. He's already had, the reason I'm going for Hornets is because he's already had his factory up for quite a while, and there's a lot of bases cleared. And when they're trying to clear, if you're playing this way and you're trying to take bases, you can't really take bases if you're going tanks. It doesn't work. It's too expensive. Tanks are very expensive, and the idea of the Hornets is that you're not really fighting stuff, but you're playing very counterattacky and forcing defense. And the Hornets can fight the Wraiths. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it's not really their best role until you have quite a few of them. So I'm trying to buy a base, and I'm aware that he's bought that base at the top. I know that. So I'm just rallying stuff over there, and I'll get over there eventually. But I'm not really too worried. I actually like that he's taking a base. That's really good for me. I see his Arbiter near my main base, but I'm okay with that. I think the reason I like that he's taking a base is because it means that he's going to be delaying his tech, and he's trying to force himself. He's trying to go Wraiths, and now he's going to be stuck playing defense on his base. He can't, as much as he might want to push onto my Expo, if he tries to push onto my Expo, he is going to lose his Expo, and my Expo doesn't really do too much. My Expo is good, don't get me wrong, but him buying an Expo at this point in the game, trying to make Wraiths, means he's going to be stuck on Tech 1 all day. He doesn't have turrets on his main base, and he's got one turret on his main base, and he can't quite afford to also be building turrets on an Expo. Like he's building over 1,000 in turrets if he's building turrets on his Expo as well. And so what he'd have to do is shield it, and shielding and turrets are not the same thing. They're really not. A shield is nice, it can stall for time, but it does not prevent me from attacking the base in any way, shape, or form with as little units as I want. So he's got upgraded Ghosts because he isn't going Hornets, but I'm just going to keep making Hogs with my Hornets. And so it's not that great that I'm losing these Hogs, but I'm building Hornets, and I have a double base of Hogs, and he really doesn't have very much stuff since he took that base. And he upgraded that base too, so I can't just kill it really easily. However, he does have to be worried about trying to still play defense on my stuff as opposed to trying to play offense, because if he just plays offense, my stuff will outdamage him, and I'll just win that way. And so at this point in the game, I don't really have very many Hogs, but I don't really have that many Hornets either, and I also want to get a double air pad going, because he's going to be spamming on Tech 1 all day. And I don't really need Tech 3 right now. I don't really have very many units, so it doesn't really do anything for me. Since he's trying to go for he got a second factory, and he really doesn't want to get Tech 2, and he's really trying to commit to Ghosts, I want to make him pay for not respecting my Hornets, so I'm going to just double pump him. And regardless, even if I don't end up double pumping them, still getting the double air pad is totally fine. I can just build the second air pad and then just not build out of it. There's nothing wrong with that. But now that I'm getting my second air pad up, I'm at the stage in the game where instead of relying on Hogs, like I did mostly in the early game, I was using my Hogs until I can get the Hornets going, and now I have the Hornets going, so now I'm going to rely on the Hornets for a while, and then later on, I'll use the Hornets for a while to keep them busy, and then eventually, while I'm using those Hornets, I'll be building up my Hog numbers again, and I'll use the Hogs. But the thing is that he's got these Ghosts, but the thing is, if he wants to play offense, it's kind of like when you build Wolverines and tanks and the other person's building Banshees. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hornets and Banshees are very different things. But you don't actually, ordinarily if you're fighting straight up, you say you would need like one Wolverine for that. But however, you can't keep that one Wolverine in 2 locations at once. You'd actually need double the amount, so that you can have one Wolverine on offense with your units and one Wolverine on defense. So basically, he would need double the amount of Ghosts to play both offense and defense is the idea. But I'm trying to sneak up Tech 3. I have a good number of Hornets, and I can make Hogs at any time. I'm just trying to save my money. He's built an anti-air turret there, but I can still target it down. I mean, I'm losing some Hornets, but if he doesn't come to defend me, then I'll just kill it, and then I'll just keep killing the stuff on his base. Because as annoying as as annoying as turrets are, when I'm on a double pump of Hornets, I don't really care that much. I queue up my Wingman, I queue up my Gauss, and then I down tech since he's on my base. I want to get more supply pads going. I want to be building more Hornets as fast as possible. And I'm just going to get a supply pad there. So he shielded this base. So he's got a shield on this base, and he's got turrets on his main base. I don't really feel like fighting through his turrets, so I'm just going to go through his shield. I don't mind that much. I think there's, in my opinion, I'm pretty neutral right now. I just don't want to attack turrets while I'm indeed getting upgrades on the units. So like, I don't want to lose any of them while I'm getting upgrades on them. I'll fight them later when I have my upgrades, and I'll be totally good. So he's attacking those supply pads. I don't really want to fight that because I don't have my upgrades yet, and if I fight it there with his Arbiter, I probably won't do so well since his Arbiter will be able to rage stuff down, but without his Arbiter around, it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now he's targeting down my Tech 2, so what I'm doing right now is I'm actually going to build as many Hornets as possible, just so I can have, because I'm not going to be able to build Hornets for a while, I don't think. So if I just build as many Hornets as possible before I lose my Tech 2, and then afterwards I'll work on upgrading the pads, or spending my money. So I think I'm about like 8 Hornets now or something like that. Not exactly sure, I can't quite see on the screen. But it's a decent number. And so he sends his Ghosts back, but I have Wingman, and once you get Wingman, Ghosts really don't deal with the Hornets at all. Ghosts kind of like can stall when you're firsting regular Hornets, but once you get numbers going, Ghosts don't even really do well against regular Hornets, but once you have Wingman, it's not even close. So I'm just kind of kiting with him, and I'm trying to get more Hogs. I don't have Tech 2, so there's no sense in having that air pad up. And so I ditch it for a supply pad. And I'm just kind of going around with my my Wingman Hornets, trying to kill whatever I can, and trying to make that Arbiter recall. And building my Hogs as well, since I can't really spend my money on air anymore. So I'm just getting my eco going and getting the Hogs building, because it doesn't, as you see, like the Ghosts really aren't killing anything, and the Hogs actually easily shoot down the Ghosts once you have Goss. So maybe I lose like a Hog here and there, but even if Ghosts are ramming Goss Hogs, the Ghosts just do not trade well against Hogs. No, Goss Hogs for that matter. I killed. I was picking off a few Ghosts here and there. I have quite a few Hornets, and it looks like, yeah, his Arbiter is back, and he's got quite a lot of Ghosts. So I'm trying to run away with any Hornets that I can, and so I don't lose them, because I really do need them to be able to kill the Wraiths, or at least force them around in some way. So he's pulled his Wraiths away from my base a bit. He's got 7 Wraiths there. And 7 Wraiths is quite a lot, but it's not too much for my Hornets. Once you have Wingman on Hornets, you can actually kill quite a lot of Wraiths, even if you don't have that many Hornets. Unless, of course, they have Scorch. Once they have Scorch, the Wraiths get a lot stronger, and you need obviously more Hornets. But these are just Tech 1, so I can actually probably kill. I can probably kill like 10 Wraiths or so just fine, just kiting back and forth, like, because you'll go in. You'll fly over them, they'll shoot their rockets, and then you just run away. And then once the rockets reset, you go back in. It's very simple. Unfortunately, I did lose Hornet there. He got the shield back up on that base, which is unfortunate for me. But he did pull away from my base for a little bit, and I do have my eco upgraded on the other base. I see he's still away from my base, so I try to throw the heal, but he shows back up. The base got a little bit of a heal, but that's unfortunate for me that he rolled in there. I probably should have thrown the heal a bit sooner. I wasn't sure that I wasn't aware that he would really pull that far away from my base initially. So I'm just going to kill the turret while I can, and I'm going to be trying to target down the Wraith, since he does seem to want to try to leave it back on D, and his Arbiter recalled, so I'm just going to D-bomb right away, not wasting any time on that. And I'm just going to try to target him down and do as much damage to him while I have him here, because I don't think I'll be able to kill him in the D-bomb, but I do know that I'll be able to do a lot of damage once he's not raging me down. And since I'm double pumping my Hogs, I'll have a lot more the next time I have to fight him. Now I was thinking about going for the temple there, but he's not upgrading anything in it, and he's not, since I'm pretty sure he didn't have Fiendish initially. So since he didn't have Fiendish and he's not trying to go for it, I'm not going to bother targeting the temple, even though I totally could target that down and kill it. I'd rather target the main base. So, because I'm pretty sure that I should be able to kill the main base within the D-bomb, or at least even if the Arbiter gets back out, I should be able to kill him. Because I do have quite a few Hogs, and he does not have Fiendish. So I just think it's like 8 Goths or so around right here, and I have 5 Hornets or so. So now that D-Bomb's down, I pull my Hogs a bit separated from my Hornets, and I have them selected, ready to go. I was waiting for him to recall, so that's why I was setting up the angle I did, and he did not recall, he actually came to try to raid from the top. And I targeted him, but my Hogs didn't want to ram him, so I just shot him down. Not a big deal. The Wraith's pulling up to my base, and he separated his ghosts from his Wraiths, because I guess he was trying to rage with his ghosts, but my Hogs easily finished the base, and then all of his ghosts should just die pretty quickly to my Hogs, because ghosts don't do anything to Hogs once they have Goths. He has, I believe, 9 Wraiths there, if I counted that well, really quickly. And that's a lot of Wraiths, and I'm not quite sure that 5 Hornets with one of them being red bar is quite enough to push that off. However, mine are wingmen, and those are Tech 1. And he doesn't want me to be able to just keep picking them off and running away. That's 1 Wraith down, really good for me. He still has 8 more though, and I don't really have the most help on these Hornets. If I lose that red bar Hornet, then that would make it infinitely more difficult to try to kill all those Wraith. However, he doesn't have an Arbiter, and let alone a Temple, so he had to rebuild that, which is really good for me. So he's going to pull away because he's worried that I'm going to be able to pick off his Wraiths, and slowly but surely I probably would be able to pick off his Wraiths. But it would be a bit challenging. So I'm going to try to buy that base. I'm trying to go for Tech 2. But I realized that me trying to go for Tech 2 and take that base is probably a bad idea. So instead, I'm going to ditch the Tech 2. I'm like, wait, no, I don't need Tech 2, and I'm going to try to buy the other base so that I can just spam out as many Hogs as I possibly can, because I don't really want to fight his army, and I don't really believe that I can effectively fight his army for the longest time. So by building extra bases, it'll force him around the map to try to stop them with his units, but in the meantime I'll be getting up more and more Hogs, and I like that. It makes it into more of a base trade style, which I think is the best way for me to be trying to play this game out. So I look to the middle, and I see that he is clearing the Mega Turret, and I see that he has ditched his shield, and I like that. I like that he's ditched his shield. I do not believe that he can effectively clear the Mega Turret with his units while also defending his base, though. So I'm sending all my stuff to his base, trying to see what's going on. I'm just staying on Tech 1. And it looks like he's trying to substitute turrets in for his for the shield that he had. And I see his unit there, so I just kind of just leaving. But I'm still building all my stuff. I see his Arbiter in the middle, but his Arbiter's in the middle with like none of his actual units. I think he had like 1 Wraith initially, but he pulled it back to try to play D. But when you're trying to clear something with very few units like that, it just takes way too long to try to clear out the middle there, and it's just gonna take them all day. So my Hornets are really weak, and I have a few weak Hogs, so I'm gonna throw a heal because I still don't have Tech 2, and I still can't actually make more Hornets. So healing the ones I do have would be the best option for me. So he's got like 2 Wraiths there, and I see that, and I'm just deciding, I'm like, is he gonna port more through, or is he going to just sit them all on D? But I'm not really worried about him actually getting that cleared. It's to the point where by the time he finally clears that Mega Turret, both my bases are going to have 3 pads on them. And once you have a base with 3 pads on it, it means that it will not die to the Mega Turret. A fire base with 2 supply pads will die to the Mega Turret, but a fire base with 3 supply pads will not. It'll be close, it'll be red bar, it'll be low red bar, but it won't die. So now he sees that I have both of these bases, and he's probably really unhappy. But I mean, what's he gonna really do about it at this point? He'd have to push somewhere with a lot of his units, and at that point I'll be able to easily just counterattack him. But in the meantime, I feel that I feel like I can definitely do some good work. See how he mega turreted that base, but the base had all 3 pads on it. It splashed a little bit on that Hog, but that was not the difference between life and death on that base. The difference was that I had 3 pads, and so he's trying to push that base. He tried to mega turret one and push the other, but he didn't realize that I had 3 pads on both of them. And so I'm just going to send everything to push on offense. I'm over 20 pop. I like that a lot. And he's trying to rage me down with his Arbiter, but I have a lot of Hogs and I'm able to actually kill him. So now he's just running back with all of his units. I'm targeting down his turrets, but in hindsight, and I know this from past experience, that It's really not the best thing to target the turrets when you have this sort of composition. Just target the pads and just kind of kite around the turrets. Like, you'll lose some stuff, but it won't really be that much, and the damage you do to the pads is far more significant. Since the turret itself, the turret is 250 plus the 100 for an upgrade, which totals to 350, but a supply pad is 100 plus 225, which, you know, so that gives you, that's 325. But then there's also the money it gives you, which will total to over 350. It totals around, what's it, like 400 or so? It's a lot of money to lose when you lose a heavy pad. So I'm going to be upgrading this base now, because I'm at that point. My Hornets seem to not want to move. I'm like, whoa, does he have vamps? I was a bit worried, but no, he doesn't have vamps. There's no way he has vamps. I was just at his base. My hogs were being stupid and they really don't want to target this turret, and so I was like worried that he had a glitched grunt for a moment, but he didn't. So he's going to make a turret my bottom base, and I just got station on it too, which is really unfortunate. But I had all of his units pushed there. But my Tech 2 is almost up, and so I'm just going to be going for air pads now. Because I really want to be able to just spam Hornets now, because I'm in a really good spot now. So he'll kill that base, but I'm getting double air pad up, and now, since all of his stuff's down there, for the most part, I'm going to just target down any supply pads that I can. He has a few units back, but Hornets and Hogs are pretty good, so I can just quickly kill that. They have really high damage. But now that I have my air pads back up again, I'm going to rely on my air for a while. And then just focus on the double air pad, and then once my air does work, then I'll focus back on Hogs again, and just kind of keep trading off between the two instead of having to always keep them both together. Supply pad upgrade. I'm going back over to that original base site because I want to see first of all, his units are there or whatnot, but I don't think he will be. Like, I'm thinking about trying to retake it, but I see that I'm just trying to build Hornets, and I was like, nah, I gotta build Hornets. I have some weak Hornets, but I don't really want to heal them at this point because they're just Hornets, and I have double air pad up. I'd rather just rebuild them. That's not to say that I wouldn't always heal them, but if I can just get more, and then they're good to go. Like, the Hornets are relatively cheap, that I don't really feel like healing them in this case, and I don't really have the money to. So I put the weak one in front, is what I tried to do, but the way the turrets are, they get targeted a bit. So I tried to kill that pad because I knew it was red bar, but it doesn't want to die right away. So my Hornets, I pulled them out of there, but then I just told them to go right back in, because that pad has to die, and then my Hornets are dying too, but heck, I got the pad, I'm happy. I didn't put the Hogs in there because my Hogs had no business being in there, especially when he has like all those wraiths there. So I'm just going to kind of stack up the Hogs while I use my Hornets. He can't really push me in any way, shape, or form because I have way too many Hornets for him. Or if you've tried, then I would have still a lot of Hornets, and I have my Hogs, so he'd have to be split in half. But it's at the point in the game where I think that I've got this just fine, and there shouldn't really be anything that he can do about it. I'm pretty built up. I'm over 20 pop. Being over 20 pop is basically the point where you know you've got this sort of thing. I'm going to start clearing the space out, but I don't really think that's the greatest idea in the world. Because by clearing that base, yeah, maybe I could pick up the money from it, but I don't really want like him to go down there. I mean, because like I don't need to clear that base and take any damage on my Hogs for any reason, because there's already a base cleared right next to it. So I can already force him to go down there to that place, and by trying to deny my base, I don't need to like also clear a base to make him deny that, to make him try to go over there. So I run into his Arbiter with my Hogs, and I have a decent number of Hogs, and so I'm actually able to just kill the Arbiter right here pretty easily. And I killed a pad on his base with my Hornets, because I don't need to keep them together right now. Wraiths don't really do very much. He mega turreted down at my supply pads there, but I'm really built up, so I'm not really worried. I'm going to build a Marine, I'm going to target stuff for my Hornets. I have my Hornets one place, my Hogs in another. And so I'm just going to target him out of the mega turret. He's trying to defend me with some Wraiths. He's got like 4 Wraiths or so. He's got a lot of units. But I'm just going to target his temple, completely ignoring all of his Wraiths. Because I can spam out a lot of units, and it's not the greatest thing to lose really those Hogs there. But on double base with 2 air pads up, I know that I can just keep spamming out units and getting them out really quickly, and if I just kill the temple, then he won't be able to push or do anything for a whole another minute and a half while he tries to get that Arbiter back up. So now since it didn't die initially, I had to make sure this time that it's going to die. And keep the Marine pick back, and I'm going to send all of my Hornets to the middle. I see him trying to take that base at the bottom. He already has a shield on it. And as annoying that is, I'm actually okay with that for now, because I'm just going to grab the Mega Turret, and then I should be good to go. But him taking that base says to me once again that he does not want Tech 2. And since he does not want Tech 2, I'm just going to keep focusing on spamming out air like it's nobody's business. So I have the Mega Turret, and I'm just going to Mega Turret his Temple down, because that'll buy me a whole nother minute and a half. So basically I bought myself now 3 minutes with him not having an Arbiter in total. And a D-Bomb comes back in 6 minutes. So that basically, you know, so when his Arbiter does come back out, if it comes back out, then heck, I mean, my D-Bomb will probably be back. If not, it's probably back already at this point, actually. Just because I only D-bombed once much earlier in the game. But he just has Tech 1 Wraiths, and I have a lot of Hornets. Hornets, although I generally prefer to have, you know, candy tanks for the most part, Hornets, when you get them in numbers, and Wingman, when you get the Hornets in numbers, they can kill stuff really quickly. And because of the way Hornets work, because they're air units and they stack on top of each other, all of them can shoot basically all the time, which is really good. And it lets you do a lot of damage. However, I mean, obviously candy tanks are probably still a better unit, but for the purposes of playing versus Arbiters on maps like this, Hornets generally work pretty well. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.